This episode of the DNA Podcast is brought to you by the Phoenix Overdrive Extra Life Team. Put your money where the miracles are. Find us on Facebook at facebook.com/Phoenix Overdrive or view the team page at extra-life.org/team/Phoenix Overdrive 16. November 5th, 2016 will be National Game Day, and Phoenix Overdrive is calling on gamers to join us in upstate New York to celebrate and raise funds for Children's Miracle Network, and fundraising itself has begun and continues until December 31st, 2016. To find out more information, refer to our Facebook page or send us a tweet at FHX_Overdrive or email us at phoenixoverdrive@phoenixoverdrive.com. It's for the kids. Now on with the show. What's up, nerds? Welcome to the DNA Podcast. I am one of your hosts, Corey Deering, and alongside me, for the first time, all four of us are here.
Gang's all here.
Brian Anderson, Joey Pease, Cameron Caglick on the end, ready to talk games. Dude, this is fitting, actually, because this is the 1 year anniversary of the domain name purchase of the website, which means, even though all of you haven't been here for a year, this is DNA's first birthday.
Woo!
Yay!
We should have had a party.
Yeah. Why didn't we have a party?
I don't know.
I didn't know.
I didn't know either.
Yeah. Way to fill us in.
I'm sorry. It didn't occur to me until I got the email reminder saying I needed to renew the domain.
We should have had balloons.
We could have had pizza.
We could have had some smoothie drinks.
We could have had some Oreos.
Okay, so you guys kind of had a party.
Anyways, what's up, guys?
Most of that.
Brian, how was Harry Potter trivia? You missed last week.
Our asses kicked.
Yeah?
Yep.
How long is Hermione's wand?
I don't know, but she has the longest out of the four they mentioned.
Oh, well, that was one of the questions, apparently.
Really?
Yeah, one of the questions was, all right, we're going to give you the potions book. What year was Harry in when they used that book?
It would have been complete guesses for me. But...
No, we knew, there was one that was there was an obvious one, but then the other ones were, or maybe it was Defense Against the Dark. I don't remember. I don't even remember what, because we were just
some of them were probably like intro to this and that, or...
I think only one of them had intro, but I don't know. It was, the questions were very, very, very detailed, and I'm a fan, but I'm not a fanatic, and it showed, because people were really dressed up. I just had my Harry Potter shirt on. But people were dressed up, had wands and shit. So we got destroyed.
Sounds intense.
It was. But we came in we didn't come in last place, so we didn't do. So there were people who did worse. But we missed a lot of questions.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Joey, what have you been up to? Playing Diablo?
Yeah. So just playing a lot of video games.
Yeah.
Which mostly consists of Diablo and Final Fantasy XIV, I guess. But I don't know. Diablo, I finished pretty much everything I wanted to on my Crusader, so I made a wizard, and actually in 1 week got up to the point where I could do Greater Risk 70 by myself, finished all of the set dungeons, mastered them, and pretty much to the point where I'm probably going to make another character soon. So
Nice.
Which character's next for you?
Probably Demon Hunter, because I've got a buddy who's been giving me Demon Hunter gear. So.
I love the Demon Hunter. That's the best one. It's my favorite.
Yeah, so now I've got the two of the set dungeons completely mastered for two different characters. I got the Crusader set dungeons all done and the Wizard ones, and working on, I guess, the other 4 now.
That's just cosmetic items you get for that, though, right?
Yeah, you get some wings.
Some more wings? Because they already gave you wings.
Yeah, well...
Yeah, what's up with the wing thing? Last time we played, I wanted wings, and you had wings.
Because you have to connect it to a Battle.net account. You
I
have
have wings.
Go on to PC, create a Battle.net account, and connect your PlayStation.
Seems like too much work.
Well, if you want the wings, that's how you do it.
That's how I have that little dog that picks up all my gold too.
I didn't get that because I want that because that's really helpful.
They used to not do that. They just changed that with this last patch. So
I should have the dog now then?
Well, I don't know if you you should. I don't know. I've had it since I got that one for Xbox or PS4 or whatever we played on, and before it didn't do anything. He just kind of was there, but now he goes and he picks up all your gold. So it's kind of sweet.
Cameron, what have you been up to? What kind of crazy movies you been watching?
Well, last night I watched 2 new movies. I watched this movie called Grandma, starring Julia Gardner and Lily Tompkins. Nobody. All right.
Nope.
Yep.
Nope.
Well, it was directed by the same guy who directed American Pie, which was really surprising. But it was a very good movie. I think it's one of the best.
So it's a
movies.
funny movie.
Kind of. It's more dramatic, and it's kind of sensitive subject material. It's about a girl trying to get money to have an abortion.
Oh,
I don't know if that's a movie I'd want to see. I don't know.
It was an extremely good movie, though. It was like one of the
it's
best.
all right. Earlier he made us watch a scary movie trailer, The Witch.
The Witch looks awesome.
Yes, it does. It looks amazing.
See, we all should go see it,
That
Corey.
looks really good. The trailer's been popping up on my Facebook feed, and I think it's the first time I've seen the full trailer, and it looks really good.
We
I'm
should
very
all go
excited
see
for
it
that.
together and drag Corey there.
I was telling them that something weird I figured out about this movie was that it's being endorsed by the Satanic Temple of New York because it's so authentic. And
That almost makes me want to see it more.
I know.
I don't know. It's kind of no. It looks great. So, because I know we had talked about it in our one show when we talked about the movies this year that we were excited for, and you brought it up, and I had seen it on the list, and I hadn't seen a trailer for it yet, and this was the first one I saw, and it does look very good. I mean, it looks pretty creepy.
It looks scary.
Well, that's what it's. Okay, good. That's good. It's supposed to be. You don't like scary, huh?
No.
No.
Ridiculous.
How long have you known me?
Yeah,
have
you're-
we ever gone and seen a scary movie together?
No.
Besides Scary Movie?
Scary movie. No, we haven't. But this one does look. Hopefully, it'll be good because that genre is kind of not as strong as it used to be. I don't think.
Yeah. Well. Any other games you've been playing, Brian?
I finally beat Fallout 4.
Yeah.
I didn't beat it.
Cameron, didn't he have another movie?
Oh, he had another movie.
yeah. Sorry.
Yeah.
Sorry, Cameron. We just went into the whole.
Well, you started talking about
Witch
the witch.
thing.
I know. I got excited.
And last night I also watched this other movie called Spotlight, which is being nominated for a lot of things this year at the Oscars, and very disturbing true story about priests and molestation and how that story needed to be brought to the public view. And
My fiance
know.
really wants to see that movie.
it's extremely good, though, especially because at the end they say which states and which cities were ones that went up in the court because of that, and Cleveland and Columbus both went up for that.
Way to represent Ohio.
Woo!
I don't know if that's something we should be
So
cheering.
that was really bizarre seeing that, and that kind of made me feel weird.
Yeah.
But it's an
I felt
extremely good
weird
movie.
inside. And in my pants. All right.
Maybe you shouldn't go to church now, Brian.
I don't. So we're good.
Church doesn't happen at 3 o'clock in the morning and doesn't have Call of Duty. Brian's out.
Yeah, I'm out. If they did that, I would probably go. That'd be very sweet.
What about Christ of Duty? Would you play Christ of Duty?
I'm gonna say no.
Wouldn't be very fun. Everyone just keep resurrecting.
Yeah. Well, that's kind of what Team Deathmatch is.
So basically, you're a warlock from Destiny. Everyone's a warlock in Destiny.
Oh gosh, I'm gonna self-res. That's terrible.
Oh boy.
Oh, so Brian, you beat Fallout 4.
I finally beat Fallout 4. I sided with the railroad
Hey, that's who I started with.
only because I wanted to blow everything up. Was that the same feeling that you got? Oh, okay,
No,
I just wanted to
but-
blow everything up.
But you do well. I guess you don't get to blow up the Brotherhood if you side with the Brotherhood, but
no.
you pretty much blow up. Spoilers. You blow up the Institute no matter what. Who you side with, as long as it's not the Institute.
Well,
So,
yeah. I mean, that was kind of a given.
Yeah.
I almost wanted to side with the Brotherhood because I don't know all about it, but I hear that theirs is kind of cool. You
Yeah.
get like a
Theirs
giant
is-
mech or something.
There's this fun Liberty Prime.
Yeah, you get
Dude,
Liberty Prime. I mean, that sounded pretty cool.
You just kind of walk with him, but
Yeah.
Liberty Prime is hilarious
But
because he just says the
I
most
did-
ridiculous
Yeah,
things.
I did say right before you get to really choose, so I'm gonna go back and
I would say
side.
go back and definitely watch, or at least go
Yeah,
through
yeah.
that at least once, and it's worth it.
But I went with the railroad just because I wanted to blow everything up, basically, and it was totally worth it.
Wanted to watch the world burn.
Kind of, yeah. Well, it's like you play Fallout 3, right?
Yeah.
You know, Megatown.
Yeah.
Did you?
I saved it.
Oh, I blew it up. I blew it sky
If you can
high.
blow it up, Brian's gonna.
Yeah, if you can blow something up, I'm gonna blow it up. So
Just a town full of innocent people with a nuke in the middle, and
they're the smart ones that built their town around this nuke. All right,
Hey,
I'm just the one that pushed. I just set it off.
It was deactivated, so you had to activate it first, and then set
Those
it
are just
off.
those
So-
are minor details.
Oh, okay.
Like
Okay.
I don't know how you couldn't. How you couldn't set that off? I don't know.
Because I feel bad for killing people.
They're not
innocent
real people.
But they're still innocent. They didn't do anything wrong.
Neither did I.
Okay.
Oh, man. Well, as for me, I couldn't figure out what I wanted to play. I've been playing Persona 4, and I'm like at the point where I feel like I'm doing the same thing over and over again. I'm not like into that right now. I started playing Xenoblade Chronicles again, and I'm like, I don't really want to play this right now either. So I busted out the 3DS, and I beat Metroid. Let me tell you, Metroid is a great game.
Mm-hmm.
The original one, not Super Metroid, the original one for NES. And it's really good. Like,
Great game.
I think it's a little bit underappreciated because of Super Metroid, but like, man, that game is so good. And then I started watching Gotham, and I'm like almost done with the first season. I'm kind of into it. I'm not sure if it's like the best show on TV, but I'm kind of into it.
I do not watch Gotham,
but
my girlfriend watches Gotham.
I know.
Yeah, she likes it.
She's actually the one that told me to watch it, so I did.
Yeah, she's really into it.
But this week we're going to switch things up a little bit. We're not going to go into the news stories. We're kind of just going to go through and we kind of chose some topics that we kind of just want to talk about because sometimes we don't really like what's happening in the news or whatever. So we're just going to kind of talk about some topics we chose. And our first topic this week is our favorite consoles of all time and why. Why are they our favorites?
Do we only get to pick one? Like,
No.
what is our favorite
No, we don't have
console
to
of all
pick-
time?
It doesn't have to be your favorite.
You don't have to pick
Well,
one. You
I
can
guess.
just kind of like go through which ones are your favorite and why they're your favorite.
I think my favorite of all time is the Nintendo 64. Not the controller. I saw that was like a sub part of it. Like, I don't know who the hell made that thing, but it was it was a little retarded.
You don't like the Bowser Claw?
No, I don't have 3 hands. If I had 3 hands, like I don't get.
And if it,
How are you supposed to get to the D-pad? Was somebody
and
explain that
that's
to me?
what I didn't understand is because then it's got this part that's like hanging down over this hand, so it's not like you can easily move it either. You have to like pull it out and
You
around.
can't go through the controller to hit the trigger.
Yeah,
What if you're playing GoldenEye and you want to aim?
No,
That-
nobody aims GoldenEye. It does it for you. All right, you don't notice that how the gun like goes. It has like an auto aim.
I know, but what if you're sniping? Nobody snipes in GoldenEye.
Nobody
let's be
snipes
honest.
in GoldenEye.
Let's be honest.
I think wasn't the right trigger the one that was like aim though?
I don't remember.
I thought it was.
It's
right
the right one.
Yeah.
Dude, we've played GoldenEye like 6 times in the last 2 weeks, and I
Corey
have no idea.
doesn't aim.
trigger.
I don't know if you've noticed
I just-
by his score, he does not aim.
He actually almost beat us. He was winning 5-0.
I don't
Like
believe
we.
it.
Yeah, Cameron was here. He knows.
You were letting him win. That was nice.
Well, and then I ended up
you
coming
trying to
back
build his
in.
confidence up.
I came
That's-
back in.
That's
and
really kind of
ended
you.
up winning. I think that one.
You
That
did.
was the sniper one.
I was up
wasn't
like 6 to 3 to 1, and then I ended up not killing anybody else the rest of the match. But I was winning.
That's not going to get you a win.
No,
it? No, I picked up a Magnum, and at that point,
But-
it's GG.
Yeah, I would say that I think I have the best memories with the 64. I mean, like the Nintendo's before my time, really. I mean, I've played it,
Mhm.
but it's not something I remember a lot. Super Nintendo was awesome. We had a lot of fun with the Super
Yeah.
Nintendo, but I think the 64 was the best. I mean, like the time that it came out, before the internet, before cell phones, before all that stuff, and you had to get people together and actually play with
Sit
them.
on the couch.
Yeah, the
four controller
the
thing,
four,
too,
yeah,
is
the 4
awesome.
controller was insane. Like I think you could even get like something to make it more. I didn't have one of those. I don't know if you did that. Maybe that was just for the PlayStation.
That's for
2.
PlayStation.
That was PlayStation 2. Yeah, because
Super
I had
Nintendo
one.
had one too, though.
I had a. I don't know if it's called a multi-tap.
Yeah.
Yeah, I had a multi-tap for the PlayStation 2, but yeah, the 64. The games were they're still classics to me. I mean, there's
Yeah.
so many that.
I mean, the first time, we played Mario 64 Ocarina of Time was just like...
The first time I played Ocarina of Time, like, just blew my mind.
Yeah. Like, Zelda in 3D. It was amazing.
I know, like, those...
Even though, I've made it clear that it's not really, like, it's not my favorite Zelda game. But
I know, your Zelda rankings are so weird.
A Link to the Past is obviously the best Zelda game.
I don't disagree. I mean, that one's very good, but I think the ones after that are a little screwy. What was your second one?
Twilight Princess.
Twilight Princess.
Twilight Princess.
Here's my Zelda ranking.
We
Out of
honestly,
topic.
you can like take it. You can go to the bathroom right now if you're watching this, because if he's gonna do his ranking, it's
Link to the
awful.
Past,
Okay,
Twilight Princess, Majora's Mask, Wind Waker. No.
You don't even know.
Link's
your own writing.
Awakening before Wind Waker. I'm just saying.
All right.
Link to the Past, Twilight Princess, Link's Awakening, Majora's Mask, Wind Waker.
What about the Ocarina?
He doesn't even have it in his like.
Okay, let me tell you a story about Ocarina of Time and why this game is not.
I thought we were talking about consoles.
We are.
Yeah, we are. All right.
N64 is this is an N64
Let's
story.
not get derailed here.
This is an N64 show or section of the show. Ocarina of Time, the temple, the
water temple.
No, the Shadow Temple, the one where you have to go and then you have to go back in time and finish it as a kid, and then go back forward in time to finish it off.
Yeah.
I was an idiot and didn't realize you had to go back in time to finish the dungeon. I tried and I tried for like a week and a half, and then I didn't go back to it because I couldn't figure it out. Then I got the player's guide and realized you had to go back in time. And that's kind of what ruined Zelda for me because I got frustrated with it.
Okay.
I did replay the 3DS one though, and
it was fun, wasn't it?
I didn't say it wasn't fun. All Zelda games.
It should have like raised it up in the rankings.
All Zelda games are fun except for Skyward Sword.
I don't think I played that one.
It's the one where you had to do like the motion controls and every single enemy was a puzzle.
Oh yeah, that doesn't sound like fun.
No thanks. I'm gonna go back and play it later, but I'm just saying that kind of ruined Ocarina of Time for me. My first experience with Ocarina of Time was not as special as everybody else's. That's all I have to say.
Okay. All right. Well, that's still all right. So that's my favorite console, 64. The newer ones are good. I mean, they're great. Graphics are awesome, and everything. But I mean,
it's just the most nostalgic.
Yeah. I mean, between the 360, the PS3, the PS4, Xbox One, like I don't know, they're all just kind of jumbled together as one to me.
Yeah.
So
it's just kind of like
nothing's really standing
our
out.
childhood consoles are separate from like I think like the PS2 era was kind of like we're growing up and this is what consoles are, as opposed to like N64 was kind of like the last console of like our childhood almost.
I don't know. I have great memories of Ocarina of Time.
Yeah.
Unlike you.
Well, I have great memories of Majora's Mask and Mario 64. So.
Yeah, those were good.
What about you, Joey?
For my pick, I'm gonna have to go with the Sega Dreamcast.
That's a.
I didn't see that one coming.
It was probably the first console I owned. It was mine because growing up with my older brother, it was always pretty much we'd get something and we'd share it. So it was always like that. And then my brother got his PS2, and I wanted a Dreamcast because I didn't have one yet, even though it was a couple years old at the time. But when I got it, I got all of the great games with it that were with it. I got both the Sonic Adventure games. I got Power Stone. I got
Power Stone.
Phantasy Star Online.
Tell me you still have Power Stone.
I do not.
Oh
I tried to find it the other day because that game is awesome. Marvel vs. Capcom 2.
Oh, tell me you still have Marvel vs. Capcom 2.
I do, but it's not an actual version of the game. It's like a copied version.
Because the Dreamcast could play burn discs.
Yeah.
And that's why.
So, it worked perfectly fine.
Yeah,
it still works as a game, but it was, kind of not a legit version of the game. And then I had one of my all-time favorite JRPGs, Skies of Arcadia. So.
What a great game.
The whole entire thing with the Dreamcast was just, it was ahead of its time as a system, honestly. Like, at that point, it was competing with N64 and PlayStation 1 still when it was released.
Yeah.
So it had way better graphics than either of those two did. It played smooth, and it had that memory card thing.
Ah, the VMU.
Yeah, the VMU. You could play those little mini games on it.
Yeah,
Especially the Sonic ones. You load your child character on there and played the little Tamagotchi game on it.
Yeah. Oh my gosh. Tamagotchis. Those things were hot for a minute.
Yeah.
And Dreamcast came out right at the right time because the VMUs, the chaos stuff. So awesome.
To me, that's my first ever console that was my own. So it's got this own special place for me. But it still was I always remember I would take that over to play it with one of my a few of my friends. We'd play pop in Marvel vs. Capcom 2, play that play Power Stone, play all these just different games we could play together, and it was just always a blast.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. What about you, Cameron?
See, when we were talking about this question earlier, I honestly didn't think I was going to have anything to say, but then you said something that made me think better about it. Maybe I'm not a huge gamer, but I do have great memories with the system. And I can say I think one of the ones I had the best memories with was the PlayStation 1, actually. because I loved playing Twisted Metal 2 and Mortal Kombat 2, and the first Medal of Honor was great, and I think World's Not Enough. The next 007 game came out on PlayStation 1, which was okay, but it was fine. It's kind of hard to think. Crash Bandicoot was great, and Crash Team Racing. It's like I had a lot of good memories with the PlayStation 1. I guess I can say that's one that really sticks out in my mind, because the PS2 was like, it was fine. I wasn't like going out of my mind for it, and I did like the Xbox One. There's a good couple of games for it, but once again, it's like, I don't know, I wasn't like going crazy for it.
Like original Xbox, not like the Xbox One, but
no,
like
I mean like original Xbox,
like
yeah,
Xbox One.
And then I never really had a GameCube until like
not spelled, just the one. It's different.
Oh man,
I never actually had a GameCube until like, the time I was like 20 or something. So I never actually had one whenever they first came out. So can't really say I had great memories with that. The 64, though, I did have a lot of good memories with that one. But I don't know, I still feel like I had better multiplayer times, or just great single player times too with the PlayStation. The PlayStation always held a great place in my heart. Like, I really loved Metal Gear Solid 1 and stuff. It's like all the great things like began, Tomb Raider, all the great things, Resident Evil, all the great things began on PlayStation 1, and that really was a good thing. I liked it a lot.
Yeah. Man, you guys took like all the good systems.
Sorry.
But like, I was gonna say like Super Nintendo, but I didn't get one until very late, and all my good memories of Super Nintendo are coming over to your house and staying up and like playing Turtles in Time and Mario Kart and, taking turns in Super Mario World and stuff like that. And then I thought about saying Sega Genesis, but again, all my fun experiences with Sega Genesis, playing Turtles Hyperstone Heist, Street Fighter, and Sonic and Rocket Knight Adventures, and like, I'm like, those memories are fun, but then like N64 is really where like my memories lie. And then since N64 was so fun, like I was excited to get my GameCube, and I think that's where I'm going to go with my favorite console is GameCube. And when it first came out, it came out on my birthday the year it came out, and my mom took me out to the Babbages that used to be at Belden Village
I remember
Mall.
Babbages.
And they had
This is old school, man.
They had one left. Well, they had two left, and the guy in front of me got the black one, so I was stuck getting the purple one. Which, now that I look at it, I'm glad I got the purple one. But at the time, I was like, I want a black one. Purple's stupid. And like, I ended up getting Tony Hawk 3 and Luigi's Mansion with it, and I was like, that was like the best birthday ever. And then I came home, and like there was this huge like surprise party here, and like all we did was sit and play Tony Hawk 3 all night, and we took turns. And like, then Smash came out 3 weeks later. Then we got my favorite Mario Kart up until Mario Kart 8, which is Double Dash. And we got Mario Sunshine, got 2 Metroid games, you got like 5 Zelda games, because they re-released Ocarina of Time and Majora's Mask. And on that same disc was the original Zelda games for NES. And then we got Wind Waker and Twilight Princess on GameCube. And like, I just really think like the GameCube is one of the best and most underappreciated systems out there, because it was competing with PS2, which was the obvious juggernaut at the time. And, Xbox had Halo, which was awesome at the time. And GameCube just I took my GameCube to college with me. And in the dorms, like, I was assuming like Halo 2 would be on, because Halo 2 came out the year I went to college. And like, I just assumed it would be on the whole time, but we ended up playing Smash and Mario Kart. Just like, we'd leave the dorm room open, and we would just play Mario Kart and Smash all night, and it was awesome. So that's kind of like, that's my pick. And I really love the Wii U, and I really love PS4 right now, and I was huge on 360 last generation, because Nintendo's kind of always been my primary console, but the Wii didn't really do it for me. Like, I liked some of the games on the Wii, like Mario Galaxy was amazing. Metroid Prime 3 was amazing. Twilight Princess was obviously good too, but like I don't know, I shifted more towards 360, and I appreciate those consoles, and I love the fact that Netflix came to 360, and it's more of an entertainment system than it is just a game machine. But I really love GameCube. But we're gonna take a quick break and come back with our next topic and our listener questions. So make sure you stay tuned, and we'll be right back. Welcome back to the DNA Podcast. We're going to move on to our second topic of the week from community member Bryce Ware, a.k.a. Breezy. He's awesome. So cool, dude. He made this Lord of the Rings, like, banner and photoshopped his face on Aragorn's face. So it's so funny. But he is going to be our community topic of the week, which is, what are your opinions on all these open world games coming out or are already out? Are there too many? Are there too few? And are you open world fatigued?
I am not open world fatigued. You know how much I love open world games, so keep them coming. I mean, usually if it's an open world game, I'll probably play it. The only one I haven't really yet is the new Metal Gear, which I didn't even know it was an open world until like after it came out. But Fallout, Witcher. What are some of the other ones that have come out here recently?
It was Mad Max kind of.
Mad Max. I even borrowed that from him just because I knew it was open world. I'm not even a huge Mad Max. Batman played and beat. Mad Max played and beat.
Creed.
Witcher. I'm not like open world fatigued, but I am Assassin's Creed fatigued. I will tell you that.
Yeah,
I think that's true for everyone.
Oh my gosh, I ended up getting rid of Assassin's Creed and getting Dying Light.
Yeah, even Dying Light's kind of an open world game,
Yeah.
and I got a couple buddies who play that. I wanted to get it when it came out, but no one else wanted to get it, so I ended up not buying it. And now they all went and got it. And now I'm like, I'm not getting it. Just but no, I don't think that like every game needs to be open world. That's not what I'm trying to say.
Mm-hmm.
I think there's like the right amount out right now, as long as you still have other stuff out there.
Mm-hmm.
But if they put it out, if it's open world, I'll probably check it out.
Yeah.
See, the thing I like about there being so many different ones is you can pick and choose the type of world you want to play in. Because if there's only a couple coming out, you're stuck with either the Fallout type universe or like the Witcher type universe. So you got the whole post-apocalyptic world, or you got a fantasy world. Whereas like if there's other ones coming out, you got then Mad Max, which is the same type. It's a post-apocalyptic world kind of thing.
Shot in the desert.
It's completely different than Fallout, so it's got like a different feel to that. Then you got Metal Gear, which more like is, I guess, kind of war-like,
like military
technological future kind of thing. So, that one's different. So, that
would be sad if the 1980s were in the future.
Yeah, I'd be a little worried.
Yeah. I'm sorry, Joey. I had to say that.
Sorry. I don't know enough about Metal Gear to know. So, I don't know. So, it's nice to be able to, have these different ones you could pick and choose from and actually choose what type of universe you want to play in. So, I think it's great that there's multiple of them coming out. As Ryan said, as long as it's not like the only type of game that starts coming out is open world games, because then that, like, you really, there's one market of gaming to play. You don't really have anything else to do. So,
yeah.
Then I would see people getting fatigued with it. But
yeah. Here's the thing. Just because there's so many open world games doesn't mean we're going to play them all. Like, maybe I'm not interested in Fallout like you guys are, but I will go out and play The Witcher, and I will go out and play Batman, and Metal Gear, really interests me, but maybe something like Dying Light doesn't interest me. It does, and I just bought it, and I'm really excited to play it. But like, there's a certain type of open world game that appeals to everyone. Like, Brian, you love Fallout.
Love it.
And Joey, I know you're a big Fallout fan. Like, you can literally do anything in Fallout 4. Like, you can pick up everything in the world. You can build big sprawling settlements.
You can't kill children.
You can kill children?
You cannot.
It's like, what is wrong with you?
You cannot.
I'll blow up Megatown, but I
won't kill
a
children
child.
unless you mod it. You can mod it to kill children, but
Oh boy, Joe, do you have something you
no,
want to tell
I
us?
do not
I'm
do
a little
that.
concerned.
But I'm just saying. That's the only thing.
Is that hat how you draw them in, Joey?
Yes. Yes. I wear a nice, hat with a funny character on it.
We can cut that part out. Joey's really a nice guy, I swear. Yeah, as long as every game is an open world.
Yeah.
Which they won't do, but...
Yeah. I'm more into open world games that kind of give you a path to follow. And then if you choose to do some side stuff, that's cool. Like Batman is a good example. I haven't played Arkham Knight yet. Like you'll have your mission, your main story missions, but you can go off and do the Riddler trophies. You can go off and do like the side missions. You can go collect stuff. If you give me a world like Fallout, it's kind of overwhelming,
right,
for someone like me who kind of needs a sense of direction to go. And I kind of had the same feeling with The Witcher for a little bit, but there's more direction than Fallout in that game.
Well,
I feel.
The Witcher is nice because it actually will split it and say main quest objectives, and then they'll split it into miscellaneous, and that's how a lot of these games are though. If you think about it, even Fallout 4 had that where there are a bunch of side quests, but there was even just a section for miscellaneous, which you really. But this, I mean, because I played Skyrim and Oblivion and Fallout, all the Fallouts, I've played them all. Some of the side quests are literally some of the best quests in the game. They're better than the main story.
Yeah, those games are more about Fallout and Skyrim are more about the moments you have in the game than the actual story.
Right.
So, and something like Batman, for example, you just want to be Batman and take out all these enemies, and it's cool to be Batman. Whereas, Fallout, you can do whatever you want, and it's about those moments. So
I just like being able to go
and do whatever you want.
So because you kind of like a linear path, which is fine. I don't. I want to be able to. Okay, here's the main story. I clearly know which one I have to do to complete that. But I'm gonna go to this town, and then I'll get caught up doing quests for there, and then one quest will take me to another town where I'll have to complete it, but I'll pick up 5 new quests there, and so I end up doing all the side quests usually, and then I'm like, oh wait, yeah, there's a main story.
Yeah.
And I'm supposed to be saving my son?
Yeah, my son. Well, he clearly didn't need saving.
You just handle it like that one guy who built the giant light up billboard and says, "Where's my fucking son?" And it's just
that was a pretty good way to do it.
Yeah. So, another thing about open world games for me though, why I like that linear path is time. You have the oddest work schedule.
Yeah, mine's weird.
Where you have the time to sit and explore all these places where when I work during the day, I come home at night and I'm watching TV with my fiance, and after she goes to bed, I have maybe 2 or 3 hours of game time, except on Wednesdays when I come over and we play games together. But I want a game that I feel like I can accomplish something in that small amount of time, instead of sometimes in a game like Fallout, if I went off and did something on my own, maybe I won't accomplish anything because I'm walking around so much, or just looking around or trying to find something.
Well, it's my brother got Fallout, and he even probably has less time to play games than you do, and he just basically did the main quest. I mean, that's he likes Fallout. He doesn't have the time to really dive into the whole world of Sanctuary, but he just kind of does the linear path because, like I said, you can pretty much figure out which ones you need to do.
If it involves find your son.
Well, I mean, because the very first quest of the game is main quest, and then once you beat that one, you're gonna get another quest, and you just have to do that. And once you beat that, you know what I mean?
I think as long as you're tracking the one quest when you finish the previous one, it'll make the next new one the main tracked target.
Yes.
So.
Yeah.
So, and he just kind of did the main linear path, and even though I was trying to tell him oh, that's so not the that's not how you're supposed to play.
Yeah, I know, and that's part of the reason why I like the idea of Fallout, and I wanted to play the game how it's supposed to be played. I don't want to just play the main story. I would want to play the game how it's supposed to be played, but that time thing, I would want to sit and play for 4, 5, 6 hours at a time, not just 1 or 2.
Yeah, you can definitely very easily get lost in that world, and you're just you're in it, and then you look up and you're like, oh crap, I've been playing for 3 hours. and I really haven't accomplished anything.
I
Like,
built my town for 2 hours. What was I doing?
Well, yeah. What was I doing? Those games can do that, but like I said, some of the best quests I've ever played have always been side quests. They're usually always better. Like the most memorable from every game, I think, has been a side quest for me.
Yeah.
Did you do the one where you find the group of robots on that broken down
ship?
The
ship. That one was awesome. The one where you go to, and I don't know if I'll pronounce this right. I don't know if the T is silent, but the Kaba house, where it's like the one house is completely normal, like in Fallout. Did you go to that one?
I don't know.
He was like a scientist. I can't remember. Like I don't know if it was CALBOT, the Cabot house, I think it was.
I don't think I did that one.
Oh man, that was one of the best. Like this house, completely not touched by this apocalypse, is like completely normal, but yet there's like obviously a weird secret going on in there.
Yeah.
That one was fantastic. That was one of my favorite ones. I mean, just going back to like Oblivion, which I know was one of my favorite games of all time. Like one of the best quests in that game was for the Dark Brotherhood.
That's the only game you played for like a year and a half.
Yeah, it was awesome. That was like one of the first like big open world games I ever played. Like one of the best quests was for the Dark Brotherhood. Like just the side quest. You didn't have to do it to beat the game, but it was cool. You had to like go to a house, and there were like because you're an assassin, so you were really there to kill everybody. But they're in this house, and you start killing them, and they just start like, because you're locked in with them, and they're just freaking out. They're trying to figure out who the killer is, and it's really you.
Yeah,
and like you're sneaking around, and you're killing people, and like you can kill people with like poison, or you could just straight up just hack them to death, as long as no one else sees it. And they're like, it was just that was my like memorable moment from that one.
Yeah, I mean, I think that's kind of true in RPGs in general, because some of the most like Mass Effect, for example, it's not really an open world, but there's a lot of like open hubs,
right?
But like some of the best quests in that game don't have anything to do with story.
No, exactly.
Like especially in Mass Effect 2, like the loyalty missions and stuff.
Those are the best.
Yeah, like those are the best quests, and like that's how I want to play Fallout. But like the time thing, like to experience that, you need a lot of time.
Oh yeah.
And like that's kind of what scared me about The Witcher at first. But then like you find a way, and like there's a more linear path through The Witcher, and then
I don't know. I think The Witcher. It took me longer to beat The Witcher than it took me to beat Fallout.
Yeah. What about you, Cameron?
I have no comment on any of this.
Oh,
So he is open world fatigued. That's basically
yes.
what that means.
Yes.
He's like, I'm done with this open world stuff.
Morrowind, the best Elder Scrolls game.
See, I didn't really get into that one.
It was the most open world out of all of them, and had like the most stuff you could do.
I still think Skyrim's the best.
Skyrim became way too mainstream, to the point where it was like they made it like almost they were holding your hand through the whole game. At least I think so. I don't know. In Morrowind, you didn't even have like a quest log. You literally had a diary where your character wrote down information that you got just by talking to people. And if you forgot where you were at in the main quest and got all these random side quests, you had to flip back through like 20 pages to find where you were at. Like in this,
That actually sounds awful.
it was a lot of fun.
No, my diary would be so screwy. It would make no sense. And I'd be like, I have to restart the whole game now. That's what I would have to do. I'd be so sidetracked.
I guess if you really got that sidetracked, you
Oh,
could
I am
probably look online at that
I am
time.
all over the place.
No, but I mean that was one where you could literally kill everyone except for people who are like important to the main story. But you could go into a town, kill a shopkeeper, steal all his items, and go to another town and sell them. So
I thought you were going to talk about killing children. I was really worried for a second.
it's okay, Joey.
I just mentioned the one thing you can't do in a Fallout game.
All right. I don't know. I can't let it go.
But as for open world fatigue, I don't think any of us are really open world fatigued as much as like there's certain open worlds that interest us, and we're interested in exploring those worlds. And when there's not one of those games, then we'll wait for the next one.
Yeah.
So, but this is the exciting part, guys. I've been holding on to some listener questions. We've got a lot of them.
Oh boy.
Some of them I had to save for next week. That's how many we had.
Oh geez.
So
what if we get more next week?
Oh,
what are we gonna do?
We're just going to have to deal with it, and some people are just going to have to deal with us not reading their question.
Oh, so these questions need to be better, is basically what he's saying.
Like
you need to put in like bomb questions if you want it read.
Anyways, our first question comes from Carlos Barragan. Hope I said his name right. How has age and life affected your perception of a game? For example, maybe your 16-year-old self would have died to have a game like The Witcher. So much content packed into one game, but now maybe a 200 plus hour game maybe isn't as appealing anymore. Like, kind of almost.
I mean, that kind of
insane.
like hits the nail on the head right there.
Yeah, like, I mean, that's kind of where I'm at. Like, you know, I know you mentioned your brother. Like, when you get to that point in your life where you're married and you have kids, like a 200-hour RPG.
It would take you all year to beat.
Yeah, maybe that's not the type of game that you want. You know, and like, I remember when we were like 14, 15, 16, we'd play games for hours and hours and hours on end. Like, I remember I put like maybe 90 something hours into Final Fantasy X and like played Knights of the Old Republic like 3 or 4 times through.
It's because that game was awesome.
Yeah, that game was really awesome. But like now, like I just said earlier, like I only have 2 or 3 hours of game time a night before I'm like exhausted and have to be up for work the next morning and work all day and be super tired. And like, I know you have God's gift of a schedule, Brian, but like that to me, I want to use my time wisely where I want, you know, I like playing Uncharted, which is a 10-hour adventure. I like, you know, playing a mission in, I almost said Halo, and I would have deeply regretted saying that after everything bad I've said about Halo 5. But, I mean, you know what I mean. Like, it's just one of those things where I feel like my game time is kind of precious to me, and I want to experience as many games as I can. You know, I love games as we all do, and I want to play as many as I can. And if a 200-hour adventure time divided by 3 hours a night, that's like 4 months of my life playing this one game.
Mm-hmm.
And like, I don't really want to do that.
No, because I think your biggest fear is that you're going to miss out on what came out during this time that you're putting all of this.
Exactly.
And I'm the type of person, I don't know if you guys are, but like when I start a game, I don't want to play another game until I beat it.
Yeah.
Like I'll play Call of Duty in between.
Yeah. Like there's your
that's
your
filler.
main game, and then there's the game you just want to like play for like a little bit or like fill time when you don't.
Yeah.
Mindless fun.
Those are basically like my filler games, like Call of Duty, Battlefront, even Destiny kind of was for a while. Well, actually, no, that consumed me. That game was kind of awful because I really wasn't playing anything else.
I know.
But so now that I beat Fallout, I'm going to play Tomb Raider. While I'm playing Tomb Raider, I'm not going to play, I don't know what has just like come out, but I know there's like a new Far Cry coming out soon. Like I'm not going to like play that at the same time.
Yeah.
So I like to, and that's why for you, that's an issue because like 200 hours, I mean, and there's all these other games that you want to play at the same time and you can't.
Yeah.
So I can see how that can be an issue.
Yeah. Like I didn't finish The Witcher, but I put like a ton of time into The Witcher.
Yeah.
Probably like 60 or so hours into The Witcher. And then, Destiny obviously consumed our lives for a long time.
That's pretty bad.
A long time. And that's literally the only game I played. I missed Metal Gear. I missed all the games that came out up until Tomb Raider.
Yeah.
And then I played them later, but like, I missed all of those games because we were so consumed with Destiny. And like, I don't want to play games like that unless I'm super invested.
I know, I'm still trying to go back and clear out my
Like, when I was over at your house for the Super Bowl party, you're like, I still haven't played Evil Within. I haven't played Alien Isolation. I'm going to play Tomb Raider next.
I still haven't played Dragon Age.
Yeah.
And Dragon Age was one of my favorite games. Of like the second one wasn't great.
But you never play Inquisition yet?
I have it. I've had it for I think 2 years now, or whenever it came out. Like I've had it, and I played it for like a little bit, and then
It's fun.
I know. I'm just trying to clear stuff out because that's the curse of only being like I only want to play one game at a time.
Right.
And so I'm just trying to clear them out. I think Tomb Raider is going to be next for me, and that one shouldn't take me too long to beat, right?
No, if you play through the main story, it should take like maybe 12 to 15.
Is there a lot of like side stuff going on?
There is.
That's where I get screwed.
Like I mean, if you do the side stuff, it would take you about 40 hours, maybe, which is like a week for you. But, Tomb Raider is so good.
I know.
I did all the side stuff in Tomb Raider.
All right, so I can pull that off.
Yeah.
See, for me, like, I used to love playing JRPG games as a kid. Like, I don't know, that was like my favorite genre of game. And like every new Final Fantasy game that came out, I pretty much wanted to get if I could. Skies of Arcadia, I said before, was like one of my favorites. I don't know. I had a few other ones I was thinking of before, but I can't remember off the top of my head right now. But it was just like I could sit down and play those for hours on end, and I didn't have to worry about other things. Like especially because most of them now most JRPGs you can't really like save at any point. It's like you have to actually get through like the dungeon
You
you're at.
have to get to the crystal that will save your game for you.
Right, so it's like you can't just stop it any time you want. So you have to make sure you have enough time to sit down and dedicate to those games. And it's like I want to play those games still, but I just don't have the time to invest in the JRPG game anymore. Like I picked up Bravely Default, and I know it's awesome, and I've gotten through about halfway through the game probably, but I don't have enough time to go back right now and just beat it. Like
The game was great.
it's just
Too busy platinuming Bloodborne, and
that I did that a long time ago.
I know, but you're still playing.
I
actually
played
did play it
Diablo
recently,
a long
but
time ago, and I still play it.
Yeah, that's true.
I don't know. It's just that's one genre of game I know that I've moved away from, and I really wish I could play it more, but I don't. I can't.
Yeah,
I just can't anymore.
I'm there with you. Like I used to.
The World Ends With You. That was another amazing one.
Yeah, that game was awesome. Like Final Fantasy X, Final Fantasy 12, Kingdom Hearts. Like those are games I spent so much time playing.
Yeah, every Kingdom Hearts game.
Yeah, and like ever since, I don't know, probably like starting 10 years ago, I drifted away from JRPG because I didn't have enough time, and that's kind of when I started shifting more towards Halo. And then when Xbox 360 came out, we shifted towards Gears of War,
Gears of War was awesome.
and then Call of Duty for a little bit. Like I started getting more towards like almost these instant gratification short burst games as opposed to long grindy RPGs, which like I miss that. I really do sometimes. But
And that's kind of why I'm glad I play Final Fantasy 14 because I get that RPG, the JRPG sense, but it's still like an MMO game, so I can still get those short bursts of playtime here or there. And then if I have time, I can go do the story quests when they come out with that kind of content and whatnot. So it's more like I can play it on my own kind of schedule type thing, and I still get that kind of feel of actually playing like a JRPG game.
yeah. Cameron?
No comment.
Oh, okay. Adrian Nito from The Frozen Machine. Shout out to them. They have an indie game. We're going to be interviewing them soon. So make sure you check out The Frozen Machine. Easter eggs, are they a lost art or are they not as relevant due to the internet?
I do think the internet kind of. I mean, just don't look them up, I guess. But it's so hard not to. I mean,
I know.
But
And like,
before Easter eggs were so, because now you can look up like, oh, Easter eggs that you never knew were in games, and they're usually all from older games, right?
yeah. And it's not
Except
even
for that one from the one Batman game that no one found apparently for like how long?
Oh, the Calendar Man one?
I don't remember.
I think it was a Calendar Man one. And like you had to, if you set your clock on your PS3 to the date that Rocksteady opened,
Yeah, I didn't
Like-
find that one.
yeah, there was an Easter egg there. And like, it's not even just in games, it's in TV shows, in movies and stuff, because there's throwbacks in all kinds of TV shows and movies to like, I don't know, like in Arrow, like the first season, this is just an example off the top of my head, Oliver Queen's sitting there at his desk and he's like, us billionaires like our toys, and he's clearly talking about Bruce Wayne and Batman or something like that, or like,
Or the episode, I think there was an episode in season 2 where he was stopping. There was the one guy who used to be a vigilante, and it was like a boxer. At one point, he literally like stabs a boxing glove with his arrow and shoots his arrow with a boxing glove on the end of it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then there was another thing in Arrow was like somebody there, like the goatee came up, like the Green Arrow goatee came up, and he's like, you'll never catch me in a goatee or something.
I don't think they're irrelevant, but it's just they're almost expected now.
Yeah.
I think it's the bigger thing, and you are looking for them. When before you didn't like really know about them, like games. Like I'm going back to games, even if you want to talk about movies and stuff. You didn't really think to look for them.
Yeah.
Like, and it was cool when you stumbled upon one. Then
Mhm.
now, like you're already when a game's coming out, some people are already looking up like, whoa, what are the Easter eggs in this game? Like just because they already want to know about them, but you just because it's so prevalent now in everything, almost every game, every TV show, movie tries to if it's like a series or
Yeah.
they're always trying to hide something in there.
See, I think before, though, like, a lot of Easter eggs went over my head because I wouldn't catch them. And, like, now, if something happens I don't quite understand in a game or something, I can easily look it up and find out, like, this is a reference to something else. So I do like being able to do that. And, I mean, I think there's, like, I don't necessarily think the internet ruins Easter eggs, but I don't think everyone should be going into a game and looking up, like, oh, where are all these Easter eggs I can find at the very beginning? You know, like, play it, and then once you see one, go, oh, that's cool.
Right. I mean, it's so much better when you find it on your own.
Yeah.
I mean, so much better.
Yeah.
I mean, I even like just the tiny Easter eggs. Like, Blizzard puts in most of their games, they have weapons or items that are just references to other things. Like, I know there's the one amulet, I never remember how to say it. The Halasun's Ascent or whatever, the one that's a dead mouse.
Oh, yeah.
The like, it's just the big, like,
It's
mouse head thing.
Yeah, it's the big mouse head.
Except it's on an amulet, and every time you use one, you're like your special ability for your Diablo character, all the monsters around you jump around for, like, was it 6 to 8 seconds or something?
Yeah, they jump around.
Yeah, so, I mean, little things like that, or like there's even the one that I didn't know for a while, the Ancient Bone Saber of Zumakalis is actually a reference to something that happens in Aqua Teen Hunger Force at one point.
Really? I see. I didn't know that.
It's a useless item in game, but it's always funny for me to see it now. So
most Easter egg items are useless in game, but they're hilarious and they're pretty cool.
Yeah, like I think when I really started noticing Easter eggs popping up everywhere was like when the Marvel movies started coming out. And, like, Iron Man had, like, half of a Captain America shield, like, on the thing to prop up the pipes or whatever. Or, like, you know, Marvel has really, like, almost thrown Easter eggs in your face to where they're not really Easter eggs anymore.
And that's because when we asked the question, that's immediately what I thought it was Marvel. And that's why I'm like, oh, well, they try to, I mean, it's like they're making it obvious. Those aren't really, I don't really consider those Easter eggs. Because they're just making them so completely obvious, and they want you to see them.
Yeah. And, like, I don't know. I think when they're throwing Easter eggs in your face like that, that takes away to what makes Easter eggs special.
Yeah.
Like, I remember walking around Halo ODST, and there's a Destiny poster, like just a Destiny poster in one of the alleyways, and like we didn't really know what Destiny was. We just thought it was like some weird poster in Halo, but it turns out to be, you know, Bungie's next huge franchise. And then God of War had a poster that. Or not a poster, but like a gazing mirror that's supposed to be about their next, like Santa Monica's next game that eventually got canceled, but it was like the space exploration game, and it was like the planets like floating around the sun, and it said something weird. But I don't know. I just kind of think with people throwing these in your face, combined with the internet, Easter eggs are becoming way less special.
Yeah.
Cameron, you might have something to say about that one, actually.
Not really.
No.
No. You guys pretty much said it.
Codfan FF tweets at us and asks, "What is your favorite multiplayer experience of all time?"
I think I touched on that earlier when we were talking about 64. It was playing GoldenEye.
Yeah.
Sitting around playing GoldenEye with you know a bunch of your friends, or even Perfect Dark.
Mm-hmm.
I hate to admit that we played this game a lot, but like Diddy Kong Racing.
Yeah.
Stuff like that. I mean, that's that will always be my favorite time, was playing with people next to you.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Looking at their screen and cheating hardcore.
I was just thinking about that.
That's what I was good at.
I'm going to have to go with, for me, Halo 2. One of my buddies, I would always go over to his house, and he had a few people who lived around him that would come over as well. So we had, you know, at least 4 people at any point wanting to hop on an Xbox together and play Halo. And they had Xbox Live and like you could play like across on Halo 2, but we didn't want to pay for it. So there's something called Xbox Connect, apparently, that you pretty much just connected to your internet, and you could like go onto these like almost
it was like a fake LAN party.
Almost. Yeah, it was like these private server kind of thing.
Yeah, we did that in college.
Yeah, so you could pretty much play with other people, but it was always like it was the worst connections ever. So we were just trying to play against, you know, people all the time and trying to stay connected, and half the time you wouldn't stay connected. You'd end up losing the game because either they're using like a
lag switch?
Yeah, a lag switch. I couldn't think of the word. And so you're sitting there, you know, you're not able to move, but they're running around just killing you. So it's like
that's always fun.
Yeah. So, you know, we had a fun time doing that and playing Halo for God knows how long. Especially swords and shotties. That was like
Our shots were great.
our like most thing we did probably was on Halo 2.
Yeah.
Swords and shotties.
Yeah. When I kind of think of my favorite multiplayer experiences, I kind of think of like co-op, like when we would play Turtles in Time. Turtles in Time is like the best co-op experience. The best hour of co-op you can do is sit there and play Turtles in Time.
The
Super Nintendo one, not the stupid Xbox one that we played a couple weeks ago. But
that one was bad.
Gosh, that's so bad. But like,
I
even
don't understand how it's so much different to where
it
it's
is.
so
Trust
bad.
me, it is. You're going to experience it soon.
Okay.
But
No Technodrome, man. What was that?
yeah, what is that? What is the pirate ship having different bosses? Like,
Yeah, they had Tokar and Razor instead of Bebop and Rocksteady.
yeah, what is that?
That kind of stuff just messes you up, man.
Yeah, dude.
Okay.
When you're expecting
All right.
something, and
And
instead of
it's-
Slash, you get the sludge monster. What is that?
Well, what about me who wasn't expecting anything to begin with? So
Well,
I'm
you
sure you
didn't
had a-
experience it right.
I'm sure you had a great old time then.
I think I was falling asleep as we were playing that. It was a long day that day.
Yeah, that was such a long day, dude. But even like our co-op stuff in Destiny, is, like more recently, is some of my favorite stuff because like just learning how to function as the team in the raid, like that's kind of a experience. Even though,
it was definitely different.
yeah,
Some I'm used to.
It was
Yeah.
definitely an experience.
Yes, yeah. I think if I was gonna go more like modern, not 64, because I talked about that earlier, I would say SOCOM 2.
oh yeah, so
I cannot believe how much SOCOM 2 I played.
yeah.
I would have like 5 or 6 guys come over. We would all set up a TV, and everyone would bring their PlayStations, and we'd all sit around a room, and we would just do wars against people. And I think that I'll never forget those times.
Yeah.
We played a lot, almost every weekend.
Yeah, and I guess for competitive stuff, like Gears of War was huge for a while, and then like even the other day when I did a Let's Play, I played for a little bit longer after I recorded it, and like after you stopped playing, going more towards Call of Duty, and I was still playing Gears of War. Some of the people that I played Gears of War 2 and 3 with were still playing like Gears Ultimate Edition for Xbox One, and I jumped on with them, and they were still playing, and like we instantly had like that multiplayer connection, and just went, and like how you feel when you find people that you haven't played with for so long, and you still have that kind of instant teamwork connection with. It was awesome finding those guys. Shout out to Jay Cuz with 4 Z's and 13. He's a cool dude. He's good. But it was fun. It was good times. Megan Green. Very.
Hang on. Before you start to the next question, I'm going to jump out. I got to piss.
Oh, that's not it being edited out. They're going to hear you.
You're gonna listen to Cameron P? That's weird.
Yeah. That's all you, though, Joey.
It's gonna be
No,
our
it's just gonna-
top rated show right here.
Top rated show right here. Megan Green writes in and says, I love what you guys are doing with the YouTube channel. Thank
This
you.
Question about TV.
I have a simple question. What is your
One
favorite?
that he could answer.
Yeah.
That's what I'm saying.
He'll be fine. Should I wait for him?
No, go ahead.
Okay. What is your favorite TV show on right now? I'm surprised none of you ever talk about The Walking Dead.
I don't talk about The Walking Dead because I'm a big fan of the graphic novels of it, and I don't always agree with what the show does. And I don't know, I'm sure she probably has read them, so, but there's too many differences where, like, I don't know, I'm kind of fed up with the show at this point, even though they are bringing Negan in. So now I'm like, I got to catch back up with the last season because I still got like 4 or 5 episodes left that I got to catch up on. But now I really want to see this next one that's coming up, like, I think this weekend. So I am like a big Walking Dead fan, but that's not my favorite show. I'm going to go with Game of Thrones. I am obsessed with that show. It's coming back here in a month or 2, and I'm so excited for this next season. I need to know what's going on with Jon Snow.
I know.
I don't think he's dead.
Is
So-
winter coming?
Spoilers. I don't think he's dead. So
I don't watch Game of Thrones. I haven't
don't
watched a
either.
single episode.
I own them. You guys have to watch it. I have my parents hooked on it. I've hooked so many people on this show, like that they can't stop watching now, and they're all. I've gotten a lot of people addicted to Game of Thrones. It's amazing. It's everything you like. There's dragons.
It's cool.
That's cool. You're not dragons? No.
No, I mean it's a show I really know I would enjoy, and I know if I started watching it, I would probably be hooked instantly. So I kind of like stay away because I don't know if I necessarily want to do that time investment.
Oh my gosh,
By the
it's so
time,
good.
by the time,
because each episode's like an hour long, right?
Yeah.
And there's like how many seasons now?
This will be the 6th season.
And how many episodes in a season?
Yes.
I think I like 10.
10.
That's
10.
That's like way too long right now for me to like invest into. I mean, I guess I could if I just watch a couple episodes a night, but
I mean, if you think about it, that's only 10 hours
We just
total.
we
A
just
season
got,
is
a
10.
season is 10 hours.
So it's 60 hours. I mean, that's not. That's
I mean,
not undoable.
I guess I could put it on while I'm playing games or
Oh
something.
no
but I
no
wouldn't be paying too much attention to.
This isn't a show that you can just put as background noise. Like that's an insult to Game of Thrones.
Yeah, I know.
we just got HBO now. Go now.
One of those.
What's the
things.
streaming one?
Now
Now.
HBO Go, I believe you have to have HBO.
Yeah. So we just got HBO now. So maybe we'll start watching it, or maybe I'll just borrow them for you.
Yeah, I own all the seasons. I mean, the 5th season isn't out yet on on Blu-ray yet, so I get them. I mean, I watch them live,
Right.
but actually I have to watch them the next day because I work Sunday nights.
Right.
So I stay off Facebook and all that crap because I hate people who spoil stuff.
Yeah.
And people will do that because they're assholes. And
I never understand that. Why do you even just go on there and just post spoilers?
well, that's why I don't even touch it. Like, and I don't know why people do it. Like, especially with a show like that. Like,
Yeah.
you can't wait one day, one fucking day. Like,
Yeah.
you got to be posting like so.
right as it happens. Oh my god, I can't believe so and so died.
Yeah, when in Game of Thrones, you would get that a lot, like almost every episode.
Right.
But that's my top show. For just regular cable, I don't really watch a lot of like regular TV.
Yeah.
So
I don't really watch a lot of TV at all either. Like the shows that I watch are on Netflix, and I'll just watch them there. But like, I don't know. I don't really know what my favorite show is right now because most of the shows I watch are all connected. So like Arrow, Flash, and Legends of Tomorrow are all connected. So
Now
like,
Supergirl.
yeah, and now Supergirl apparently is connected to those now too. So like, I don't know, maybe that universe is kind of my favorite show. Like that's what I keep up on are those shows.
Yeah.
And like I started watching Gotham, but that's not near close to being my favorite show. And Agent Carter's really good. Like I guess that's one of my favorite shows, but like I don't know. I feel like I need something new to watch. That's like I need something hasn't really grabbed me yet. So I guess Flash out of those 4 shows, Flash and Agent Carter. Agent Carter's really good. I'm actually quite surprised at how good Agent Carter is, especially for a second season coming off of a season that was only supposed to be a 1-season show.
yeah,
So, what about you, Joey?
For me,
I didn't say a lot because I figured you and me almost have the same.
no,
type
I
of-
actually think I'm going to say something different. So
Oh,
I guess we kind of
okay. You
you could have
anyway.
gone on more.
I don't care.
I think I'm going to go with Doctor Who. I don't know. I've always been ever since I watched New Who and whatnot, I've been trying to keep up with it as much as I can. I know right now they're not doing any new episodes currently because they're in their off season, but it's one of those shows that it's fun because pretty much each episode is its own different unique story. You come in and the Doctor tries to save the world or save some other place from some evil disaster, so it all kind of has the same kind of theme most of the time. But it's still fun to see these unique aliens and these unique problems that happen and all kind of how it happens and how he reacts to the situation and who the person he brings with him reacts to it. So I don't know. It's just always a fun time and it's always just interesting and it's something that I've kept coming back to each season that they've come out with. So I mean, if you can get past that first season and you're not completely turned off of New Who, then you're definitely going to like the rest of it, I think. Because that first season was a little rough, but the rest of it gets way better.
Yeah, I was gonna start watching it, but they
took it off Netflix.
so now I
Yeah,
can't watch it.
pretty
now.
awful.
So.
Damn you, BBC!
Cameron, you can answer this question. Come join us.
What's the question?
What's your favorite TV show on right now?
Honestly, I don't really watch TV a whole lot, but I'd say since it technically is about to be back on, I'm just going to say my favorite show right now is Daredevil. Because season 2 is coming back this year, April, which is only like a few months from now.
I forgot about all those Netflix shows.
So
those do count. I like House of Cards.
yeah, House of Cards. I really love that show a lot. And
That's starting up next month. New season.
He hasn't watched season 3
I
yet.
haven't even watched season 3 yet because I heard it was kind of.
It wasn't great, but it wasn't bad. It was just kind of
The ending
Sounds
kind of
like-
slaps you in the face.
a little bit. I'm hoping season 4 picks back up and goes a little bit stronger. So.
Yeah.
But since Daredevil's supposed to come back in April, that's when I can say. And I really love House of Cards, and I really, despite what a lot of people say, I really loved True Detective season 2. So I wonder whenever season 3 is going to be coming out. So I don't know. That's like the only other show I can really say that I actually loved that was on recently. Other than that, there's nothing else because I don't like Flash. I don't like Arrow. Legend of Tomorrow is god awful, and Gotham is stupid, and Supergirl looked really dumb. And
Tell us how you really feel about these shows.
Agent Carter looks okay, but that's that. And Agents of Shield looks stupid as shit. And I don't know.
Agents of
No,
I don't
dude,
watch
Agents,
any of
Agents
those.
Why does
of
everyone
So
Shield.
it's like
hate
all
that
those
show?
things, all
I
those
like that
shows
show.
that are
Agents
newer.
of Shield, man.
And Ash vs. Evil Dead, I was really into it in the beginning, but then after like episode 6, I was kind of dropping out because it just wasn't as good. And iZombie was okay. I was into it in the beginning, and it really picked up at the end of season
I
1.
liked iZombie.
Yeah, at the end of season 1, it like really picked up, but then I don't know. I haven't really felt like
That was, like,
huge motivation into going into season 2. So
No,
haven't really-
I only watched season 1 on Netflix, and I was actually kind of surprised by it. Like
Yeah.
I had no idea when I saw it. I was like, oh, I'll check this out, and then I found myself watching a bunch of the episodes, and I really liked it.
It has a rocky start though, because
It does have a rocky start.
it feels hokey in the beginning, but after
It picks
a
up.
while, it really picks up.
Well, it feels like in the beginning there isn't a story. Like there isn't like it just feels like
Yeah.
every episode is going to be like different. Like they're not going to be connected.
Case
And
of the week kind of thing.
yeah, and then they finally got a story going, and it ended up being decent.
Yeah, I liked it actually.
It was-
Even though I like the comic better, but yeah.
yeah. That's I
Comics are usually better.
Yeah, so I didn't read the comics, but I hear that they're pretty good.
Yeah.
I recommend watching that show, though. I mean, if you got nothing else to watch.
Yeah.
I would put iZombie on.
Oh, Cameron, by the way, while you're peeing, the first part of the question was actually a comment. I'm going to aim it towards you because you do most of the work on the YouTube page.
Okay.
They like what we're doing with the YouTube page.
Is that all I said?
Yeah.
That's kind of vague, but okay. Thank you, commenter, I suppose.
Keep up the good work.
All right. Last question comes from Mitch Gula. We're going to go with Gula.
Okay.
I just found you guys while searching for new podcasts, and I have to say I'm liking it a lot.
Well, thanks. Welcome.
This is more for you and Brian. I'm a huge Diablo fan, though I am relatively new to the game, getting it for Christmas. I've been reading some Reddit threads on builds, but was wondering, since Joey and Brian seem to play a lot, what kinds of builds you recommend for a new player. I am currently switching between the Witch Doctor and the Crusader. P.S. My friends power leveled me on both characters. I'm currently sitting around Paragon level 220 for both. Keep up the great work, guys.
Well, I'm going to go ahead and talk first because I'm going to let you talk more about specific builds maybe because I can never really remember the names of any of them.
Okay.
I mean, I'm just going to kind of give him the tips of what I did, where at the stage he's at, where at this point, he's Paragon 200, but he got power leveled, so he doesn't necessarily have any, maybe 1 or 2 set pieces. He's probably running a very screwed up.
He's probably sitting similar to where I'm at.
He's probably, because like I have my Unhallowed Essence already set up and good to go on my Demon Hunter, and that thing's just dominating. Like I can run through almost all the Greater Rifts by myself. I mean, he's kind of a glass cannon, can't take a lot, but that's how they are, Demon Hunters. But like the Witch Doctor, I just started with you guys. Like you're gonna go through, you're gonna collect some green pieces, and you're gonna like I said, I'm using the pet one right now, not the one I want to use. But to be able to get the better green gear, I need to do better rifts. So I'm running that set just for now because I have, I think, like 4 pieces of it. Or I only have 3, but I have that ring. What's that ring
Ring
called?
of Royal Grandeur.
That's what it's called.
Rorg.
So I have that ring on, which lets me only need it. I don't need I only need 3 instead of 4. You know what I mean, to get the perk, and so you kind of just want to collect the best gear that you can at first, and then once you start doing greater rifts and using that awful woman to try those blood shards.
Kadala.
I hate her so much.
Everyone does.
Really hate Kadala so much. You just need to go through those rifts, get the blood shards, now that they have empowered rifts, I feel like it's easier. Because if you do the empowered rifts, you get better gear, I've noticed.
See, I never noticed. The only thing I noticed from empowering the rift is I get an extra upgrade on my gem. I never noticed any extra gear.
I feel like I've had more set pieces and legendary pieces drop doing an empowered rift.
I think it's more just the higher level.
Maybe that's just RNG and I'm just getting lucky when I do it. I don't know. That's how I feel. But like, I'm not an expert in the Witch Doctor or really the Crusader. If you were doing a Demon Hunter, I could kind of help you a little bit more. I know you've done a Crusader and you love it, so that's why I want. And like, I just started the Witch Doctor like you, and I have this awful pet build, but I have like 20 some people following me around. You've played. Like, I don't have to do much. I just kind of sit back. So that's what I have going right now, and hopefully I can get it.
This is what you do when I stop to check my stuff. Where are you? Checking my new stuff. Check it later. Get over here.
Well, yeah, because like I was power leveling you, and you're like looking at like blue gear, like you're gonna need it. Like
maybe
I'm like, let's go, man. Like you're gonna get better stuff later. Like you're not gonna use this stuff.
It's true.
So you wanted to look at every little thing.
I do.
I understand.
I want to know what the stuff is. I still don't know what
I didn't have time for that. Like, let's go. let's get moving. So, but I don't know. Like, if I wouldn't recommend the pet build for a new player for the Witch Doctor.
Yeah.
No.
As far as the Crusader goes, well, first of all, something we haven't mentioned. Definitely go get your was it Connie's cube or
Canaries?
Canaries.
The cube. Get the cube.
Get the cube because the cube will be very helpful. There's certain things you can do with the cube that you actually can pretty much manufacture legendaries with it. All you need to do is put in a yellow item of what you want, and I think 25 death breaths, and then 50 of each of the other mats, so 50 white, 50 blue, and 50 yellow mats.
Yeah.
And it'll make it into a random legendary of whatever you put in there. So that becomes very helpful when you're buying from Kadala and all you're getting is yellows.
I hate that one.
You can end up turning those into legendaries, especially if you know which pieces you're looking for,
right,
because it ends up saving you a lot of time. This is something that because I had just come back this season from season 1 where this cube wasn't actually a thing. So learning about this cube has saved me a lot of time and effort of actually getting the gear I want. So using the cube as effectively as you can. I know you had said you had done some research on Reddit for some builds. You can look on Reddit, probably a guide about the cube too. Reddit actually is a very helpful place, at least I found, for the whole entire Diablo community. I know there are specific subreddits for just whatever class you want. I know I follow the Diablo III Crusaders subreddit and the Diablo III Wizards because those are the two main I play. And you can find a lot of useful information on there. I know there's right now a sticky thread for the Invoker set and how the Invoker set, which is the Thorns build set, how each of the different interactions work with that set. So it's very helpful to kind of determine where you should go if that's what you plan on doing. That said, the Invokers, which is the Thorns build again, is a very easy set to play. So for a beginner, if you can get all the pieces for that, you can easily start farming some of the higher torments and maybe even start doing some higher level greater risks, because all you really need to do is build really a bunch of defense so you can pretty much survive everything and you're still able to kill things as long as you have that Thorns damage. So it ends up being, it seems easier to gear for, easier to play, and you can get pretty far with that. Once you get to a point where you might get bored with that, which is what I did when I first did it this season, because I play on PC mostly, and they started over with the seasons. If you did that, you can actually get a full 6-piece from getting your caches, I guess, for doing the special challenges. But if you're on a console, you don't necessarily need to do that to get the sets. You can get them a different way. But if you do play through the Thorns and you get bored with that, there is plenty of other different builds you could do. I know the There's a whole set built around Blessed Hammer, so you can just pretty much spam throwing hammers around in a circle and just destroy everything. That's the one I'm having the most fun with right now. Then there's also a set for it's the one. It's either the swipe attack or the shield bash attack, it's the roll-in set, and I don't really play with that one as much. I think it's okay, but it's not necessarily a good place right now. So pretty much the two better ones are the Blessed Hammer set, which is the lights, it's the light set. I don't remember the exact name for it, or the Invoker set. Those are probably the two stronger ones for the Crusader to build a class around. And then there's also another option you can go where there's these two rings that, as long as those are your two only set items, it boosts your damage by 100% for each ancient item you're using, which ancient are a different form of legendaries to where they're special, like they're stronger. So apparently that's the build that most people are using right now. It's a Legacy of Nightmares build. So if you see LON for anything, that's usually what people are talking about. So, I mean, it helps to just do a bunch of research on these different things. You can kind of figure out what skills you're using, what you kind of want to build around. And even if you don't like any of the other ones, like based off those specific sets, there's a con set that you can get that pretty much reduces the cooldown of Akarat's Champion and makes it so everything you use while in that stance pretty much is boosted power-wise. So there's a lot more builds you can even do with that if you don't like any of the other specific sets. So there's, like I said, it takes some research to find out what you want to do and kind of what is effective right now. But once you find out what you find fun and what to do, you can kind of go from there and work on refining your items and getting your set exactly how you need to. I mean, Corey, I know you started this game and you're kind of lost right now, but
I think loss is an understatement.
It pretty much takes some research outside of the game to find out, unless you really don't want to do that, where you can just go in and do everything trial and error, which it'll take a lot longer to get farther in the game, but it's still plenty of fun. I know that's the first time I played it. I did everything by trial and error, so
yeah. It's
up to you. I mean, really, if you have the time and you want to research to get further quicker, you can go ahead and do that. Or your friends might even have some insight, because you said they power leveled you. They probably know something about, at least one of the classes you're playing, so they might be able to help you as well.
May I suggest throwing the hammers?
Yeah, the hammer build
Corey
is
likes
fun.
Corey
I
likes
do.
the
It's a fun move. I enjoy it.
hammer. Yeah, it's good.
I feel like Thor. Just kidding.
Something like that.
We have one more quick question, and then we're going to get out of here. Cameron, this is one that none of us can answer. Megan Green, I just opened an email from her. Last question. I hope I made it in time for another question. What are some of your favorite, more recent indie movies? My friend and I are always looking for more indie movies to watch and want your personal recommendation. Also, have you thought about doing some sort of movie cast?
Movie cast? What the fuck does that mean?
Like a podcast, I guess? About movies?
I suppose. Indie movies. Well, like the two I mentioned, Grandma is extremely good, and I think it just came out on DVD and Blu-ray. I don't know if it's on Netflix, but it's on Amazon Instant Video. That's a really good one, and the movie's not even that long. It's actually like an hour and 15 minutes long, but it has a really great pace, and it feels like a long movie. It's like the same length that Squid and the Whale was, which was like an hour and 15 minutes long too, which was a really well done movie. It's got a ton of atmosphere to where you can love the characters already, even though you just met them. And Spotlight's a really good one, but I saw that movie in the theater, so if you want to see it, you have to go to like a theater, like an indie theater that would play it. Another good one I saw was Queen of Earth, starring Elizabeth Moss. It's on Netflix. It got a lot of mixed reviews, but that's because it's one of those movies that's kind of like symbolic, where it feels like there's a meaning behind the entire movie, rather than it being like a straightforward story. So I would suggest that one, especially because I thought Elizabeth Moss was really good in it. She was very bizarre, and it's kind of hard to like her character, but it feels like it all leads up to something when you get to the end. Oh shit. I guess I don't really have to say newer ones, do I? I mean, I could just say new indie ones if I really wanted to. I know this one's on Netflix, but it may not be one you want to watch with your parents. This movie's called Nymphomaniac. It was one of my favorite movies from 2014. It's a 2-part movie. It's extremely explicit, so watch out. There's like dick going in and stuff like that. But it's an extremely good
Didn't
movie.
we already talk about Spartacus on this show once?
Yeah, that was the quote where they quote a lot of dick came from that. There's a lot of dick.
There is a lot of that too. But it's one of the most thought-provoking movies I've ever seen in my entire life. The way that they viewed sex and also just behavior, human behavior, it was like such this like people looking on the outside of what human behavior is rather than like observing yourself and what other people are like. It was kind of like someone on the outside observing human behavior, and it was a very interesting way of looking at humans and stuff, and that's one I'd really recommend. I don't know, it's kind of hard to think of any more indie movies right off the top of my head right now, especially ones I saw last year. I don't know if it's really an indie movie, but it came out the end of last year, like October or November. But the movie that Bryan Cranston's being nominated for, Trumbo, he was extremely good in it. He was unrecognizable. That's one I'd really suggest, especially because the director was the one that had me thrown. It's the same director from fucking Austin Powers directed this movie.
That's weird.
And I was like, holy shit, because Bryan Cranston was like unbelievable in this movie. That's one I'd really suggest because I think it's coming out on Blu-ray soon, and I think it's still at like the Dollar Theater. I'm pretty positive, so you could go and see that for like $1 or something. Those are ones I would suggest. Megan Green.
Awesome.
What was her name?
She's also the one that said she likes what we're doing on the YouTube channel.
Ah.
So
Cool.
anyways, anything else you guys want to hit on before we get out of here? This has been quite a birthday episode, I should say. You can take your silence as a no.
Should we sing happy birthday?
No, we're not singing happy birthday. Thank you so much for joining us this week. If you're watching this on YouTube, please like, subscribe, and share. You can find all of our content on digitalnerdadvocates.com. You can also find the audio version of our show on iTunes, SoundCloud, and Stitcher. Nobody that I talk to that listens to us on the Xbox store, so I did not renew that feed. So, sorry, Xbox users, you're whatever.
Okay.
If there are enough people that show interest, let us know, and maybe we'll go back.
We'll look back into it.
Maybe.
Is the correct thing
It
to
is
say.
so hard to get your feed on there, and it's only for like 6 months at a time. It's really weird. Their process is weird. Rate us and leave some comments. Let us know how we're doing, either on YouTube or on iTunes. Go like us on Facebook and join our awesome community page. Follow us on Twitter at the DNA Network. Check out our store on Redbubble. Buy some cool merch. We're going to have some new stuff up there shortly, so make sure you keep checking that out. And also, at the top of the show, we are helping our friends at Phoenix Overdrive and Nerd Overdrive in their Extra Life program. So make sure you check out extra-life.com/Phoenix Overdrive 16 today. It's for the kids. Donate. National Game Day is on November 5th this year, and a combination of us will be helping them out on that day too. So make sure you help them out. They're such good guys, and it's for the kids, so make sure you check it all out. Thank you so much for watching this week, and until next time, we are out.